the art of weak spirit. Welcome the Missoula City Band. Hey, please ride the Western Star Spangled Banner with Caitlin Sisler. I hear you as you're sitting down going, oh my goodness, that's right, Caitlin Sisler is here. Wow! And we never rehearse that. I always forget about it, and then I suggest it on Tuesday sometime. We don't need no stinking rehearsal on that. Caitlin and her husband Jesse, he's hiding out in the saxophone section right now. Our guest soloist today, and we're so fortunate to have him. Hey, oh, look at family here. We already. I heard the university, the band camp was going to be here, but there was a little strike of lightning, I guess, somewhere in Frenchtown or somewhere, and they had to leave. So we'll play loud enough; they'll hear us back on campus. Turn her up, Jay. This week there's a special celebration up in Columbia Falls for Don Lawrence. He was the band director at Columbia Falls forever. There are two people in this band of significance that were students of Don back when he was teaching. Andy and Susan, identify yourself. Anybody else? Anybody else that had Don was there forever. A wonderful man, a trombone player, of course. He's a real jazzer as well. And how old was he? Like 94. Trombone players don't last that long. Right? So he really broke the mold on this one. I attended his brother's funeral years ago, and I played his brother was a tuba player. Well, he passed finally, and there's a celebration of his life up in Columbia Falls on Sunday. And we're going to do our own right here and now. This is a composition that Don wrote in 1999 for the Flathead Community Concert Band that he was conducting at the time. It's called Prelude to a Concert, and there's not a jazz lick in it. There's some jazz harmonies that he would always stick in everywhere, but not a jazz lick to be found. I'd like to honor and remember Don Lawrence. on, I would have taken a job at Columbia Falls instead of here in Missoula. My life would have changed. Don took me aside and said, this job is killing me. Yeah, it's a job for two people. You shouldn't take it. So I just waited a year. Big Sky opened up, and I made a home here in Missoula. That's a good man. And a fine trombone player at that. Hey, we've got a special project right now. Hey, I don't feel any rain. You, Mark Gord, bless you. Steve, you could tell the story or not? Steve and I were colleagues, band directors for 100 years. And most of us teachers start in a small school and work our way up. You know, that's what I started on a little reservation, Nevada, and I moved to Corvallis and then to Stevensville, and just kept moving north, and the rain would start. And then I was fortunate enough to land a job here in Missoula. Well, Steve's dad did exactly the opposite. Moved from the Midwest, came to the rain. I'm trying to ignore the rain. Came to the West, started teaching in Bozeman. That's not going to last long, kids, I promise you. And if you get up, I won't sneer at you. I see somebody brought up thoughtful folks. I was making fun of you before. Where's your umbrella anyway? And then after a couple years at Bozeman, he decided, no, I want to teach in small schools. And he taught all over the state in small schools. And when he was there, he wrote school songs for those schools. And his son, Steve, plays in our band. His dad was Ed? Francis. And we're going to do two of these school songs. Frenchtown Bronx, and then the Superior school song, which we found out when we, see, the rain stopped. The Superior song, Steve and I were unaware, it came more of a surprise to him than it did to me, that the Superior song and the Bozeman High School song had just different lyrics and a different intro. So we're going to share these two songs right now. Steve White at the podium and drummers make it marching band. Here are these two wonderful school songs written by Steve's dad. Welcome Steve to the podium. That's sweet. And Steve played those school songs himself He graduated from Bozeman High, and he was the band director at Frenchtown for years and years. Francis, oh yeah, there you go. We got some shout outs. I also taught Colstrip and Busby, and all those schools had their own school songs. The most popular school song in the state of Montana? Notre Dame Victory March, you know. All right, most schools. Oh wait, am I wrong? Wisconsin. On Wisconsin. Da, 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 da. And then everyone just changes the words to fit. All right, then Notre Dame, right? Most schools just pick a college team, and the lucky ones get their own. Chuck Johnson wrote Hellgates. The Mission Mountain Wood Band wrote Big Skies. Dean Vinyl wrote Hamilton, so we're lucky here in Montana that we got some original tunes going on. It's not raining. That's just splash coming from the splash pads over there, kids. Hey, I'm going to get out of the way, thank God, and shut up while I'm at it. And my good friend Don Jaramillo is going to make some lovely music with our guest singer. So here is Don and Caitlin, and hold on to your socks. And while the rain's out, empty old wallets, okay? Because here come the collectors while you're at it. Don't be a cheapskate.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. The next arrangement I did here for the band, and I want to thank the band first of all for playing it, is entitled Marinela, Marinela. It is a Spanish aria that our soloist picked for this performance. It's a little history of the tune so you know what you're listening to. She's going to sing it in Spanish. And it's a piece that was a four-scene Renaissance Italian type of comedy that was written in 1916. And it's basically a soap opera. And Caitlin's going to sing the part of what Rosina is singing. And Rosina's struggling a little bit with this in this play. She has fallen heads over heels for this wonderful military man. He's not giving her the time of day. Of course, it wouldn't be that way unless it would be a soap opera. And she's singing this sad song to have pity on herself. So she is talking about life is not good. I don't understand why he doesn't love me. All the while, there's two young men down on the balcony who are looking at her affectionately, saying, "How come you don't notice us?" And she's spending more time trying to get the attention of the man that's not noticing her. So basically, Marinella, Marinella is a Italian-style aria, and I hope you enjoy our performance.
Tu sei scantato, e poi tu
There's the cost of admission right there, huh? That was a song that she wanted to sing, and Don made that special arrangement just for her. Oh my! Hey, she'll be back. She's doing a duet with Jesse here in just a little bit. And now, from the sublime to the ridiculous. Hey, are any of you old enough to remember the city band would continue? The drizzle meant nothing, but when it got to be showers, the city band would continue to play, and people would go sit in their cars around this perimeter and honk their horns instead of applaud. Right? That was before my time, but it's in the book. Oh, speaking of, you know what? Back when the band played down at the courthouse, that was the same scene right there. They'd everyone park around and they played because it was a union job, and for the musicians to get paid, they had to play at least half an hour. All right, so they played rain or shine. We'd be more reasonable than that. Yeah, if their lightning struck me right now, we'd quit, or at least take a break. This is a specialty song. It's 100 years old. Wait, 130 years old. This song, and it has to do with a particular public amenity in New York. But it's all the rave now here in Missoula. I'm not talking about camping. They were up till 3 o'clock in the morning last night. No, not that. But it's about and dedicated to Kathleen. You've had your own road to hoe. Here is the sidewalks of Missoula for Kathleen Kimball. Kathleen? Yeah, I live in a neighborhood without sidewalks. Along 23rd, oh Lord, none of us can afford sidewalks. Some of you are still paying for that sidewalk going up Hillview Way, huh, Ludi? It's a hard place, you know. If you got sidewalks already, but to pay for them after the fact, ooh, put some of us in the poorhouse. That's okay. I just walk in the street. Look who's setting up. Jesse's going to play a solo that was part of a fundraiser. The fact that he's playing this tune instead of one of a handful of others was part of a fundraiser called Something for a Night. Swing for a Night, which was a fundraiser for the Hellgate Band, put on by one of our own who can't be here tonight, oboist and clarinetist. She was the lead of the fundraising activity, and she found Beth Dodson. And came up with this great idea of having a ballot issue, and people would pay with money, and they raised money, and Jesse would play whatever tune won. And it's one that we did 5 years ago. The people loved it so much, and so we're lucky enough to be able to share it with you again. It's a ragtime piece. It was written by, you know that Rudy Whitehouse was a Detroit rat. Yeah, and it's wild and crazy. It's got slap tongues going on. It's fun. It is fun, fun music, and Jesse just plays the heck out of it. He's messing with me. Here it's Saxophobia. Back. That guy, Rudy Whitehouse, he recorded more than 300 solos just like that. Wacky ragtime stuff with slap tongue and all kinds of stuff. And I never heard about him until I got out here. You know, I wasn't quite as old as Rudy, but if you think that, I would have known the guy, all the saxophone stuff. That's why I know him. All right, I'm sorry. This is a selfish move on my part. But you'll like it. You will like it. No, unsolicited, I got an email from the folks that moved next to my family home back in Detroit. And they had moved in after all of us kids have left, and we would call them and find out how our folks were doing. Hey, have you seen Dad lately? You know, we check in. They're a real nice couple. Well, it's gone a long time. And my folks are gone now, but they're still living there. And the gal said, hey, I found an album. She's cleaning up. She's moving. Her kids are grown and gone. And she said, I found an album with your name on it. What? And she sent it to me. And indeed, it was an album when I was a 7th grader in school in 1966. And I had no idea the album existed. I don't remember the tunes. I'd never done the tunes. And I found 2 of the 3. One at a school I even taught at, didn't even know it was in the library. Here are 2 simple, straightforward tunes that hark back to an easier time. And for me, so much fun to imagine playing a trombone on this. This is Prelude and March, and then I'll just give a brief stop in between, and then Celebration. You'll know the Celebration too. I had more fun imagining my parents sitting there listening to me play. Fun. Thank you for obliging that little memory lane for me. Decent music, and it's fun to play something simple enough to have fun with and just read. Hey, it's time now to bring the two folks together, and they're going to stand on opposite sides of the stage, like there's some kind of duel going on. No. And you'll recognize the piece of music. It's the kind of thing when I put it on, I just put replay. Replay and listen to it over and over and over. It's a tango. And I bet you Don will give you more information about it. This is another Don Jaramillo arrangement. He's got kin in town. He's got a kin in the band again. You got a lot of kin, man. Last week, this week, is somebody different next week? All right, sure enough. You know, because we have 2 seasons here in Montana, right? We have winter and company. Hey, you gonna talk about this? No, hey, Don's gonna tell you about the piece.
Next piece we're going to play is titled Por una Cabeza. It's actually By the Head. It's actually written by a composer, arranger, poet in Argentina. He's a very famous Argentinian tango expert, but he also loved horse racing. And so the translation by head is really referring to him, his love for horses, but he also infers that something by head, obviously, you hear that horse racing, winning by head. And in this particular case, he uses it in love. Sometimes you win, sometimes you do not. So this is a tango, and I took the time, once we decided to do this, this is a piece that you've heard on a movie. I think it was Al Pacino in The Scent of a Woman. There's the tango portion of this, and this is from that. It actually has lyrics, and Caitlin's going to sing it. And I wrote the soprano saxophone part, which Jesse's going to play, to imitate that of what a Argentinian accordion player would play. And the band will play all the rest of the parts, and we hope you enjoy our version of Por una Cabeza.
Con una cabeza del cómico trigo, que nos
So you'll remember this concert not because of the rain, but because of that. Oh my gosh! Oh, is that fantastic? Oh Lord! And the first time she scared me when she went up for that note. We had discussions about what that note was. What was it? A D? Or just a D? Did you hear it? Did you think that you were having a stroke? It shocked me. I began to scream. Oh my goodness. Oh, wonderful. And so nice of Don to write the arrangement for them, and then I pander him to please come conduct it because no one knows the arrangement better than he does. Oh man, and I could just sit off to the side. I was just going to sit in the rain with you, and it let up. Look at that, we've won. Hey, what's it? Hey, hey, Frederick Fennell is best known for being the person who took the concert band and made it smaller, made it a wind ensemble. This year is a band. Many colleges skimmed down when Frederick Fennell began the Eastern Wind Ensemble and started playing music that was thinner. And he became famous for it, and we got lots of great music written because of that. He was really a bass drummer is what he was. And he didn't write much music, but he arranged a lot of music. This he wrote for a band camp. We're going to do it especially for the campers, so we'll tell them all about it. And it written for a band camp in upstate New York called Tally Ho. And it's arranged by Brad Ellison's father-in-law, John Kenyon, years ago. John wrote all this great music. We played some of his tunes last year, like junior high level school band music. This one is an upscale march with a time signature in the middle, written by the most famous band director this side of John Philip Sousa, Frederick Fennell, and arranged by Brad's father-in-law. shall we? Here's a little patriotic prelude, kind of an Americana tune for you to warm up. Next week we'll be here on July 3rd, playing our patriotic music and then taking it out to the fort on July 4th. All of us sad to have no fireworks to look after again. Someday, huh? Someday. Hey, you'll hear Chester, my old Kentucky home, Swanee, Saints go marching in, and more. It's like driving across country. Enjoy, folks. Thanks so much again for coming out and bearing through the weather. It's going to be fine after all. And it's nice to wear a coat in June, huh? Here's Panorama USA. beat co-ed, isn't it? Hey, we'll see you next week, kids. Hey, now you're all dried off. You don't need to shower when you get home. Thanks so much for coming out, Jesse and Caitlin. Oh, God bless you. And I've got the history of the city band up here if you want a copy for your brother's birthday, okay? See you next week, kids. Thanks so much for being hardy.